Now let us look into difference. First difference, definition. Microprocessors generally does not have RAM, ROM and input-output pins, whereas microcontrollers is all-in-one processor because they have RAM, input-output ports all on the chip. And operation. Microprocessor perform as heart of the computer system, where microcontrollers act as heart of an embedded system. Architecture. Microprocessors follow Van Neumann architecture, where data and program are present in the same memory module, and they have one bus for both instruction and data. Whereas the microcontrollers follow Harvard architecture, where data and program get stored in separate memory, and they have two separate buses, one for instruction and one for data. Fourth one, memory and input-output components. These microprocessors cannot operate without peripheral components, that is external components. That's only processing unit, and we have to attach all the required components externally to operate. Whereas in microcontrollers, it has small processing unit along with its own internal memory to store and IO components to give input. So we need not to attach anything to a microcontroller to perform. Circuit size and its complexity. As we need to connect components externally, microprocessor circuit becomes large and complex. Whereas in microcontroller, all components are internally connected, so circuits become small. We need not to connect anything to a microcontroller. Efficient techniques in compact system. Here, in microprocessor, it is complex system as it has to be connected with other peripherals. It provides average or less efficient technique in the compact system. Here, in microcontroller, we need not to attach anything, hence the size will be small. So it provides better and efficient technique in compact system. Seventh one, cost. Once again, as we have to connect external components to operate, the cost of microprocessor is higher. And in microcontrollers, as again we need not to connect any external components, the cost is less. Power consumption. Microprocessor requires external components once again, and its circuits is also complex, so it requires more power. In microcontrollers, they have low external components as everything is in a single chip. It consumes very less power. And power saving feature. In microprocessor, there is no feature that helps in saving power. But in microcontroller, they have power saving systems like idle mode or power saving mode. Overall, it leads to less battery consumption. Next, processing speed. In microprocessor, there are very less internal register, so it has to rely on external storage for all memory operations. And these memory operations are carried on external commands. Hence, it leads to high processing time. Whereas if you look into microcontrollers, there are many registers for execution of instruction. And fetching and storing data require internal commands, whereas external commands are required for microprocessor. So the execution and processing time naturally becomes less due to everything happening inside the microcontroller. Thank you all.